255.255.255.
255.
Sir, means 256 members can access that in class A, sir.
Yes, correct. Because it's an octet, right? That is why
Yes,
256
sir. Yeah.
maximum.
Okay, got
Class
it.
B starts from
172.16.10.0 to 172.31.255.255.
255. Similarly, class C starts from
192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255.
255.255. So this is your range for class ABC private. Okay, now you can see that over here it is written unicast.
1 to 1.
Right. Over here also you can see class A is unicast, class B is unicast, class C is also unicast. Unicast means what?
1-to-1
Not broadcast.
communication.
One-to-one communication, direct communication. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
if this machine wants to communicate directly to laptop one, and laptop one wants to communicate directly with this machine, this one-to-one communication is called unicast communication. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
these are basically your IP addresses what you have for unicast. Class A, B, and C. Class D is used for what purpose?
Multicasting purpose.
Multicast means what? One to group.
Broadcasting.
No,
Broadcasting
not
purpose.
broadcasting. One to group
One
or
to
one
group.
to many.
Yes, I want to put.
Okay.
Okay. For example, if this machine wants to communicate to just these two machines. Okay, let's say that this machine wants to send something to these two machines only, not to all the machines.
Mhm.
This is when it forms a group, right? This is a
Sir.
group. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This resistance forms a group. This is the type of communication. Okay, from here you are sending one thing to this group of machines. This is what we call multicast communication. Okay, so one to group communication always is multicast. So this is the particular address which is basically reserved for this. Okay. This is your reserved for multicasting purpose. This is the range which is reserved for experiment and research purpose. Okay. Now, how many of you have heard about the organization named DRDO?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Defense research.
Defense.
Defense research.
Yes.
Defense Research Development Organization.
Defense and Research Organization.
Those organizations who are basically are involved in terms of doing research and experiment. Okay, research and development organizations, they use this type of address from class C. This entire range is reserved for that. Okay, so in normal communication, if I talk about internet, okay, the type of the address what we are using, it is unicast address most of the time. Class ABC addresses. Okay, and sometimes we use multicast. Okay, but these two addresses, very rarely you get to see rather than this. Okay, so over here we have all these three classes, both private and public. Most of the time, in fact 90%, you will see class ABC addresses. So this is the full range, everyone. From 1 it starts, right? So 1.0.0.0 to 9.255.255.255. Okay, you are having the first range. Then again from 11.0 it starts, and again it ends to 126, 255, 255, 255. Okay, so in between this 1 to 9, you can see that in between 1 to 9 and 11 to 126 there is something missing, right?
Yes, sir.
There's
Yes,
something
sir.
missing between 9
10.
and 11. Something is missing. Why this 10 is missing? Because it is coming in private.
Private.
Private is what? Free of cost, right?
Yes, sir.
All these addresses are what? Chargeable or not
Public.
chargeable?
Paid.
Chargeable, sir.
Chargeable.
Chargeable. Okay. Similarly, from 128.0.0.0 to 172.15.255.255.
Hello,
So
sir. Excuse me, sir.
172.15. Tell me.
Sir, I am Sai Prashant.
Hmm.
Sir, here unicast for what purpose, sir? If multicasting means a group of interacting with group of machines, no?
Correct.
Now unicast for what, sir? Which purpose, sir?
Unicast means direct communication. If you
Direct
are
with one system only,
communicating
yeah?
directly, directly, if you are communicating between these two machines, this is unicast. Okay.
Okay.
And when you are communicating, let's say that this machine, this laptop is communicating from here to here, and similarly it is communicating to this machine also. This is a group, right? This is multicast.
Yes, sir.
So one machine
At a time,
to multiple
at a
machines.
time, two or three or four interacting.
Yes, one-to-one always direct, and
Direct.
group communication, it can be any. From one single machine you are communicating to a group of machines.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. This is what we are discussing. So 120.0.0.0 up to 172.15.255.255. Then again from 172.32 starts and goes all the way up to 191.255.255. So clearly you can see that between this range and this range, this entire range is coming, right?
Yes, sir.
172.16 up to 172.31. It is coming.
31.
This is basically in private, it is coming. Okay. Similarly, 192.0.0.0 up to 192.167 is coming. And again, it starts from 192.169 all the way up to 223. So clearly you can see that 167 and 169, we are having 190 to 168 is missing. And this is coming
Yes,
over
sir.
here in class C. Right. So all these addresses over here, we have class D and class C. We don't have it available in private. It is only available in public only. That is why you can see the full range 224 to 239 directly, and 240 to 255, 255, 255.254. Okay. Now why 254? Because this is global broadcast address in IPv4. Okay. A global broadcast address always is all 255s. Means this address you can use to communicate to all machines in a network. Okay. So this IPv4 address always is reserved for broadcasting purposes. Okay. And we also have another address. This is your 127. So this address is reserved for loopback purpose. Okay. So what exactly is loopback? Loopback is nothing, but it is used for self-diagnostics purpose, everyone. Self-diagnostics simply means that when you are communicating from your machine, okay, let's say that this is your machine, and you are trying to communicate with this laptop one. So first of all, you have to make sure that whether your machine is able to send or receive information, whether it is capable of doing that, sending and receiving or not. Okay, this thing you have to check first. So how do you verify? How do you check that whether your PC0 can send data or receive data? Because every single system, they are having their network interface card. That is your network interface card. In other words, NIC. Okay. This network interface card is there. It is mandatory. If this card is not there in a system, they cannot communicate. Okay. So every single data communication, what is going on, it is going on based on this particular hardware, which is found in every single laptop or desktop machine. This is the LAN port. We call it LAN port or internet port. Okay, like that. We have different names for this, but always this type of network interface card gives you this port, this type of ports where you connect your internet cable, your LAN cable, and you are just doing the communication. So whether this card is working or not, if there is a problem in this card, how do you identify all these things? Okay, how do you get to know that whether your machine will be able to make communication with other machines in a network environment? Okay, this is the self diagnostics, what exactly you do on your system in order to verify that whether your machine is ready to make communication in a network environment or not. So how do you do that? Simply, you go to your system's command prompt, CMD, and simply just type this command called ping. Now, ping basically stands for packet internet grouper. Okay, and this packet internet grouper, we are utilizing it in order to do this checking. Okay, in order to find out that whether our system is eligible or is capable of sending informations, receiving informations via its NIC card or not. So ping always you can use in order to check that. What exactly you do is you just use any one of this address range. Okay, from here, this is your complete loopback address range. From this range, we can use any, okay, in between this 127.0.0.0 to 127.255.255.255. We can use any of these ranges in between to basically test it. Okay, so give any address. By default, we have 127.0.0.1, which is considered as the default loopback address for Windows and Linux operating system. Okay, OS machines. These are considered as loopback addresses again. Okay, 127.0.0.1. It is considered as the default loopback address in Windows operating system as well as in Linux operating system. And this address we can use it in order to verify. Okay, so what exactly you can do is simply just type that address and just hit enter. Okay, when you press enter, you can see some output is coming. Okay, this output basically tells you that you have sent how many packets you have sent total. 4 packets. How many packets you have received? 4. Any packets are lost?
0.
No. What is the percentage of loss?
0%.
0%. Now you have received 4 packets, right?
Yes.
Yes, 4 packets you have received. Now all these 4 packets are reply packets. Can you see the reply?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many packets you have received the reply?
4.
Yes. So when you are receiving reply, it means your machine can receive informations, right? On your NIC, network interface card, your machine is receiving informations. And when you are sending it, it means your machine is also sending the information via NIC. So your network interface card, when you see this type of output, right, it simply means that your machine NIC card is working fine. Okay, means you are sending and receiving. This is what exactly is required for network communication. So it is working fine. Sometimes we don't get this type of replies. Okay, for example, if I ping any other addresses, okay, you will not see this type of reply. So I'm pinging a random address like 200.90.65.1. Okay, so here I'm getting the reply. So it actually exists over here. Let me just type any other address. Okay. Now you can see that you are getting some request timeout message, right? This type of messages always it will come when the system is unable to make communication. These messages will come. You can see that we have sent 4 packets, but we didn't receive any reply, right?
Sir.
So all the 4 packets we have sent are lost, and the percentage of loss is what? 100%. So all the 4 packets we didn't receive any reply. This is one of the type of message. Sometimes you get this type of message as well. Okay, like general transmit failure. Okay, this message you are getting, and this message simply indicates that your machine's NIC, network interface card, okay, is having issues or faults. Okay, means some problem exist in your network interface hardware. Okay, maybe some like what it is damaged for some reason, because this is hardware. Okay, it can be damaged like what under certain circumstances. So at the time, communication will not be going on, transmission will not happen, reception will not be happening. This is what exactly is the type of message you get. General transmit failure is very common message what you are getting when your NIC is not working properly. Okay, if the hardware itself is having the issue, then you get this type of message. But always when you see this type of messages, you understand that your communication is perfectly all right. Means your machine can send, receive information without any problems. Okay, so this is what exactly you are getting, everyone. The general transmit failure. Okay, you can type any address from the 127 address range. Even if I type any address, okay, like 127.0.100.90, you can see I'm getting reply, because all this entire range, okay, the entire range from 127.0.0.0 to 127.255.255.255, it is used for this type of purposes. Any address you can type. Okay, let's say 127.80, okay, 89.10.45, okay, like that. As long as it is 127, always system understands that it is used for loopback. So this is when you will get a reply always. Okay, so this is what exactly you can use, any address. Okay, so this is your range, everyone. Remember that every single of these values are represented in an octet, okay, in decimal form, and the minimum value of an octet is what? 0. The maximum value of an octet is 255. Minimum value what you can give in an octet is 0, and maximum value in an octet always is 255. So the question is that how many number of values we are having in an octet? How many number of values we can write in an octet? The answer is 256. Okay, if you count from 0 and you go all the way up to 255, then 0 to 255 total how many values we have?
256.
256. And there is also another way by which you can simply just find out how many number of values you can write. Can you see 8 bits over here? It is 1 octet, right? 8 bits.
Yes, sir.
2 to the power of 8 is how much?
256.
256. Over there also you are getting the calculation. Okay, so if you count from value wise, if you count from 0 to 255, you will get 256 values. And if you just use the powers of 2, okay, and then also you are getting it. 2 to the power of 8, that is 256, you are getting it. Now this is what exactly you are having IP address, everyone. every single network engineer, every single system engineer, every single server, cloud, security, technical engineers, support engineers, everyone, they are using these addresses in the company. Okay, they're using this class ABC ranges from private, public. Class D, E addresses are used in research organizations for multicasting purposes, but these are the addresses what is getting used in the companies to do the network infrastructure management. This is what exactly you have to remember. At any cost, you have to remember this thing. It is very important. Okay. On a single day basis, you will be working with this object, with this particular class ranges on a single day basis. While you join the company, over there you will see that every single moment they are simply just referring the IP address of machines. At that time, if you ask that, okay, which class, which particular type, okay, this there will be a problem. This is when exactly make sure that you memorize these values in such a way so that you never forget these values in your entire IT career. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This particular values
Yes,
you
sir.
have to memorize. This short range, this is the full range. Which one is used for what purpose? You have to remember this. Okay. So regarding that, I'm giving you around 10 to 15 minutes time, everyone, for all of you to remember and memorize these values. 15 minutes of time I'm giving you. You have to memorize these values right now. And I will be asking you questions from this range exactly after 15 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Sir, there is a
Yes, sir.
question for
Tell me.
this loop back. So we try to know that our NIC card is properly working or not by this loop back system.
That is correct.
Okay, sir.
Your network interface card, whether it is functioning or not, whether it is being able to receive data or send data, how exactly you can know that your hardware NIC card is working? You can just use the ping command and type any address from this range. When you will get the reply, similarly, you can understand that it is working fine. If you are getting the other type of messages like general transmit failure type messages or request timeout messages are there, you know that there is some problem either with the network connection or maybe directly in the hardware itself. If you are getting general transmit failure, it simply means that your network card is having some issues. Either it is not on or it is having hardware problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone, your time starts right now. 15 minutes you are having in order to complete this particular memorization process for this. Okay, so both the long version and the short version, you have to tell me. Okay, so I will ask randomly. Okay, I cannot ask all of you, but make sure that like to whoever I'm asking, I get an answer for this. So go on, and if you want, you can take a screenshot. I hope that all of you have taken the screenshot for this, right? All of you have taken the screenshot.
Yes, no.
Take the screenshot. Go on. Taken. All of you taken the screenshot,
Yes, sir.
and this is the last part. Done.
Sir,
Tell me.
can you scroll up, sir? Yeah, okay, sir. Done, sir, done.
Okay, so all of you go on. You are having 15 minutes of time. Okay, I will communicate with you exactly in at around 15, 37, 47, around 15:50. Okay, I will
53.
communicate with you. Okay, so around 12, 13 minutes you are having. Okay, I will communicate with you, and similarly, just I will ask only 5 persons, not more than that. Only 5 candidates. So simply just go through all these things. I'm muting my mic right now, everyone. Okay, everyone, is it done? Pritam,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Done,
Yeah,
sir.
done, sir. It's done.
okay.
Done, sir.
So, Pritam, you will go first. Okay, only 5 participants, not more than that. Okay. Pritam will go. Then after that, Ashwini will go. Then Mayuri will go. Then Suman. And lastly, we have Sojanya. So Pritam, you can go first.
Yes, sir.